Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hawg fanatics, we at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
This is where the fun begins. What is up, everybody?
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? You never know what the loudest mouth in the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say. I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your host, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Let me talk to you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. I'm your host, of course, Razorback Zach from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen, alongside my buddy, my co-host, my partner in crime, and the glue that holds the whole damn thing together, Marcus MC Carlton. What's up, dude? Are you frozen up there still?
Because we're pretty much looking like Hoth up here right now. The tauntauns done froze up outside, so we're staying inside.
I ended up going back to work today and ended up falling in the ice. So my knee is all bruised up and busted up. I got a brace on it. Yay. Nothing like, falling and trying to break your hip.
Yeah. And the falls are not nearly as funny when you get our age as they are when you're younger.
Oh, wait, are you calling me old?
Well, you're close enough to me that I can call you that. So,
wow. Yeah. I texted my dad about it today and he goes, well, welcome to being almost 40.
Yeah. It doesn't get any better, Hoss.
It really doesn't. Yeah, and I figured you could spring, you could pop back from this, bounce back from it. No, I've been limping around the house all day. But enough of that and enough of embarrassment. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. into Inside the Hawg Pen, the radio edition. 101.1 FM. The answer is the place. If you are outside the Central Arkansas area, download the app or check it out on our Facebook channel, on our Facebook page, or the Answers Facebook page. 10 a.m. tomorrow. Gonna be a good one. I get to go over everything from the collapse in College Station to the collapse in the jungle last night. And we're gonna get into all that tonight too. And by the way, Arkansas baseball is officially underway. We're going to Arlington this weekend, not like physically us going. But
that'd be awesome if we were.
But
last time I talked to our correspondent, Sarah Savage Vogel, she said she was going. I haven't talked to her in a couple weeks now, so I assume that's still the case. So maybe she can rep for us while she's down there.
We hopefully we can get a live report from Arlington
Oh, that'd be cool.
this weekend. But all that and more tomorrow, 10 a.m. And I'm not going to say the 3 letters that will trigger our esteemed executive producer. I'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Got a big show tonight. We're going to talk about. You've got some thoughts as far as the game last Saturday, the game last night, and then
Saturday's game. Yeah,
Missouri comes to town, and I'm telling you now, Missouri is not to be played with.
Well, Missouri put a whooping on Alabama last night.
Yes.
Ended up beating them 110-98, I believe, was the final score. So
I thought it was
they put up a bunch of points. They put up triple digits.
Oh yeah. It was like 90 something.
It was a high scoring game.
Let's jump right off into the. Oh, before I forget, immediately following, about an hour after the show tomorrow at noon, we have a very special pod exclusive dropping where MC gets to sit down with former Arkansas Razorback basketball player Ernie Murray. That's going to drop tomorrow on our podcast channels. Anywhere you guys listen to podcasts, we're there. Make sure you tune in. That's going to drop tomorrow. MC sat down with him this week to talk because, and the big reason is MC. I'll let you tell it, but there's outside of the Missouri game tomorrow, there's something else happening tomorrow that has taken 35 years.
Yeah.
To take place.
So a little backstory. If you're younger than both of us, and you're thinking Ernie Murray, who's Ernie Murray, and you only know him maybe as a high school referee. Let me tell you a little bit about Ernie Murray. Ernie Murray was known as the Pride of Wabaseka, which is down near Pine Bluff. And he played on the 1990 Final Four team with guys with the names like Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, Oliver Miller, Lindsey Howe, Ron Hury, those guys. Ernie was a part of that team, and he was a part of the team the next year, the 1991 team as well. Started as a walk-on, earned his way into a scholarship, and it has taken 35 years, but that 1990 Final Four team, which was the first Final Four team under Hall of Fame coach Nolan Richardson, it has taken 35 years for them to be publicly honored in a ceremony by the university. And that's happening Saturday at halftime of the Missouri game. So, I worked some back channels. Got a big shout out to Scott Bates of Hoop Play USA for hooking me up with Ernie and getting us connected so we could do this interview. And, Ernie was a great to talk to about this. Matter of fact, I've got just a little snippet here I want to play real quick, Zach, of the interview that I had with Ernie. And this is just a little taste of what you're going to get in the podcast that hits at noon tomorrow.
But when Coach Cal got here and we got with Kevin Trainer and Darryl Hawkins, my teammate, has been really instrumental in putting this together and helping us get this pull off. We have a dinner on Friday. We have a dinner that's set for us on Friday in Fayetteville, and then the game on Saturday. So I'm just excited. I go back some, but I don't go as much. But I'm so excited. I'm going home Saturday to be honored, and where honor really is due. It's overdue. So I'm so happy that Hunter Yurachek and his staff have seen fit to do this for us. And we want to, 1990 team, we want to thank the University of Arkansas, the administration, the athletic department, the coaching staff. We thank everybody for allowing us to come back and be honored.
There you go. That's just a little snippet. We had about a 35-minute conversation. It was difficult for me not to fanboy out. As I said in the pod with Ernie, this was one of the first teams that I remember really hooking me and pulling me in to becoming the psycho basketball fan that I am now. So tomorrow at noon, wherever you get your podcast, it doesn't matter, Apple, Android, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find this at noon tomorrow. It'll even be on YouTube. So go find that when it drops tomorrow after you listen to Zach on 101.1 The Answer in Little Rock. And we'll take you all the way through the afternoon tomorrow because we've got good stuff. Zach's on at 10, and then noon, we're going to drop that. You can do that, and then you can come back and you can replay tonight's show. How about that for a promo, Z?
I was like, I'm just going to back up and let you have it. But I am not going to mention that my laptop kind of glitched out when he was talking about the game hooking him, and it wasn't. I know what he said. He said psycho basketball player, but it came across psycho that I am.
Well, I mean, depending on who you talk to, the psycho that I am might fit as well. So
I'm leaving that one alone. But let's jump off right into this and go to school. You're muted, MC. He's so excited.
I'm so damn excited. I forgot to unmute my mic. I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
Yeah!
All right, it is time for MC School of Hog Hoops like we do every week here during basketball season on Inside the Hog Pen. And I'm going to ask you, MC, how's that level of excitement hanging in there for you? How's that?
It is it's hanging by a thread, man. The river of Kool-Aid, the levels have been up and down and up and down. We're a little on the low side right now. We could use a little more flooding, if you will. It's been a tough week for floating the river of Kool-Aid.
Right. And here's the thing, dude, is I feel like we keep having the same conversation, different chapter, different verse, regardless of the sport. We had it in the fall with football where we were so close in so many games. And here we are again in basketball, so close, and not just one or two. We're talking like this is, it's becoming a trend, Yeah. It's not a good trend at that.
Well, and but it fits right in with the whole hog gonna hog, like we have talked about in other sports. I mean,
University of almost.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at you had prime opportunities this week to get yourself off the bubble and firmly planted in the tournament beyond the play-in games, because you had a top 10 team in Texas A&M last Saturday. And then last night you were at number 1 Auburn, and both of them were right here. I'm putting my hand out here for people that are just listening. I'm putting my hand out in front of me wide open, and they set the victory right down in the palm of our hand. And all we had to do was close our fist around it, and we couldn't do it in either game. And it was very similar. The reasons that we could not do it were very similar for both games.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going through the schedule now. I mean,
yeah. You've got 5 games left. Yeah.
78-74. Oklahoma 65-62 back in January. Texas. Oh no, we won that one.
Yep.
Alabama 85-81.
Yeah.
A&M 69-61, and then Auburn 67-60.
Yeah, so it's, there's so many what if moments with SEC play alone, because you can go all the way back. I throw the Tennessee one out. That one was a blowout. There's several other games you can go and look at what if, but the biggest what ifs are going to be Alabama in Fayetteville, because you get in a huge hole that's just too big to dig out of. You fight all the way back. You get it within, I think they got it back within 3, was as close as they got after being down 21. And then Saturday down in Aggie land, you have that one right there, man. You have it right there, but you can't shoot. I think they shot less than 50% from the free throw line and 30% from the field. You can't do that.
Hang on, let me
Too many turnovers. They do that on Saturday. You miss an opportunity. I think the Aggies were ranked number 8 at the time. So you could have had a victory over number 8 on the road and then turned right around and beat number 1 at their place. At that point, man, bubble talk is gone like yesterday. Okay. you're looking at that point, you're firmly in the tournament, and you're probably, you don't want to be an 8 or a 9 seed, but that's probably about where you are. Had you pull both of those off.
I'm looking at the team stats here from that A&M game that you were talking about. The scary thing is the numbers are very, 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 very close.
Yeah.
3-point percentage, 34% for Arkansas, 30% for A&M. Field goal percentage, 42% for Arkansas, 42% for A&M. Okay. Free throws, 14 of 19 for Arkansas, 15 for 21.
It's very balanced.
Yeah. And it's like assists, same, 14,
Yeah.
There's nothing on here that, if you're just looking at the stats, going A&M blew us out. A&M had this game from the get-go. No, it's the same.
It was there, man. It was there. It comes down to, to quote Houston Nutt, it comes down to one play, man. You're one play away, or, to quote one of your favorites, Brett Bielema, oh, we're right there. We're just right there. And it's,
Really?
basketball is, I went there.
Yeah, I had to. Come on.
Basketball is not seen as a game of inches, but it comes down to single possessions.
It does. And
you can point at a handful of possessions that if Arkansas doesn't come up empty, they win both of these games.
Can you imagine? And here's the problem. The thought just occurred to me. Do you remember back in football when we beat, what was it, number 4 Tennessee?
Yeah.
And everybody thought, oh my God, here we go. We're about to turn the corner. And it was the same story, different chapter, different verse, the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You go beat Kansas, first game of the year. Everybody thinks national championship. Here we come.
Yeah.
And then you stumble through the non-conference. You're stumbling through conference play. But you go into Rupp Arena and you knock off Kentucky. But here we are again talking about the same problem.
It's a similar trajectory. I think I said that right.
The only difference is Pittman's in year 5, Cal's in year 1.
Yeah, and that's and you can see, and let's be honest here. There's a lot more faith in what Cal's going to do next year versus what Pittman's going to do in year 6, because you can look to recruiting. Cal's already, he's already got 2 of the top guards in the country, number 1 at each position, the number 1 point guard, the number 1 shooting guard coming in. They're making a late push for either the number 1 or the number 2 forward in the country. And that's kind of what I want to see. I'm kind of getting off topic here, but I'll bring this back around. I want to see us come in. The guards are great. You got to have good guards all the time, but I want to see Arkansas basketball go find a big, and not just a big that wants to shoot threes. We don't need another 7-footer that likes to shoot threes. I want an old school big. I want somebody that's about 6'9", 6'10", 245, 250 pounds, and just a real mean SOB when he gets the ball down low.
Here's the thing, MC. If you're 0 for, let's just go 0 for from the 3-point line, why do you continue to shoot the ball?
So I don't know the philosophy of the coaching staff, but my mindset goes to, okay, if I'm 0 for 5, 0 for 6 from 3-point range, I'm probably going to stop shooting.
Dude, if I'm 0 for 3 from anywhere.
And I understand shooters shoot. I get that. And you shoot your way out of a slump the same way you shoot your way into it. But
0 for 9?
Go find something that's a little easier than a 3-pointer. Go find a layup. Go get a couple dunks. Get some free throws under your belt. Anything.
The problem is he's 7 foot.
And he's got but he has a good looking shot. He has his form is good. His shot is smooth. It's when it's on, it's on. But apparently,
I've got a good looking shot.
When he's off,
doesn't mean I'm going to take it.
Well, but when he's on, we've seen what he can do when he's on. It's just really kind of frustrating when he has a night like he had last night, and he's 0 out of 9, 0 for 10 from 3-point range, and you go 3 out of 19 on the night from 3-point range as a whole down at
You're
Auburn.
not going to win the game.
You're not gonna beat anybody when you go
No.
3 of 19 and you shoot 50% from the free throw line. Okay. Final score last night. You remember what it was? 67 to 60.
60.
Okay. You know how many free throws we missed?
6.
7. Missed 7 free throws on the night. We only shot 14. That's a different issue. Okay. We need, I've said before on here, we need to have between 20 and 25 free throw attempts in every game. 7 of 14 from the line. Not
Sorry.
gonna,
I got to put this comment up. Brandon Laughlin says they can barely make the layups. Just keep shooting from wherever and something has
well,
to, right?
Okay, that's a fair point by Brandon. I don't know that I have ever seen a team struggle right around what I call point blank range, 2 to 3 feet. I don't think I've ever seen a team struggle the way this one struggles at times from point blank. And it's frustrating. Of course, I'm 5 foot nothing, have been since I was 15 years old. So it makes it even harder for me to understand how guys that are 6'7", 6'8", 7'1", how they can continue to miss layup after layup after layup. And I realize some of these, they're getting some contact put on them and they're not getting a good clean look, but still, man,
Okay.
if you're that big, I mean, there's a reason God didn't make me that big, because I would have tried to tear down the goal every time I got within 6 feet of it.
Look, I played pee wee ball and a little bit of ball in junior high. All right. That's about it, the extent, because team sports, you can ask my family, team sports were not my forte. But even I know that the basic shooting a layup is basic in practice. You practice that all the time.
It's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. Of course, I'm the same way about free throws too. To me, free throws ought to be as easy as layups. But
speaking of parents, my mother's here, and this is the first time she's commented. She says, "Hi,
I think so. Yeah.
Hi, Mom."
Yeah. Now you really got to be good now.
Yeah, I mean, she has seen this thing live, so
yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So,
gonna go through some of these comments in the Connections Live fan feedback. Casey Sutton, royalties in the house is my favorite day of the week. I thought Fridays were favorite days. Trevor Kaiser says, "I say 3-0 in Arlington." I like it.
I like it. That's not going to be as easy as what you think.
I was going to say, and we're going to get into it later. Kansas State is very, very good.
Michigan, don't overlook Michigan either. And then, of course,
in the house says,
"Hey, there she is."
And then, of course, our sponsor, general manager of Seven Oaks Steakhouse, James Harris, good friend of the show, by the way. James Harris says, "Good evening." And then Mama Linda, the other half of Royalty, says, "Hey guys, hope you're staying safe and warm. Still can't figure this basketball team out. Neither can Cal.
We can't either. We can't figure them out either.
We can't either. Okay, so I know we're up against a break here in a few minutes, but I have to ask you.
Okay.
The end of the Auburn game last night.
Okay.
Do you blame Trevin Brazil?
No.
Why?
A couple reasons. And I saw all the jokes on Twitter about point shaving and all that, and I had a good laugh. But no, that's an effort play. It's what I blame is not him for knocking the ball back into the goal. What I blame is the lack of communication to where we had 2 teammates basically fighting for the rebound. That happened a couple times late to Arkansas, because there was a possession prior to that one with Brazil where Billy Richmond had secured a rebound, and it may have been Brazil that was battling with him and ended up knocking it out of his hands, and Auburn retains possession and they end up scoring after we initially had them stopped. I'm not blaming him for hustle plays. I'm not going to blame anybody for a hustle play. What I am going to blame is the lack of communication between the teammates, because I know for a fact, because I've seen it on some practice videos, they are taught. It's kind of like when you're playing baseball and you're in the outfield and there's a pop fly. You call it, okay? Right. You call it, say, mine, mine, mine. They are taught to call rebounds the same way that outfielders and baseball players are taught to call pop flies.
Yeah.
And was it too loud in there and they couldn't hear? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But you've got to find a way to communicate to where you don't have instances like what you had last night.
Now, I will say that one kid for Auburn, They kept taunting I want to punch him.
Oh yeah, he's not a kid. That dude's like collecting Social Security.
Okay, that you're just on the old jokes.
I'm very much on the old jokes tonight. That dude for Auburn, number 10. I don't know his name. I don't care to say his name because I don't want to publicize it. But he's too old to be acting like such a punk.
He did it twice. So do you think the refs weren't going to let one time you can get away with? Because let's talk about the boneheaded moves in this game, both for Auburn and Arkansas for a minute. How big of a loser do you have to be to stare down John Calipari and then taunt the bench? Really?
Look, again, this is me being old school. But if a dude hits a 3 like that, and then he turns around and he stares at my bench, my teammates, and my coach, that dude better hope he doesn't get on a breakaway layup because he's going to get put in about the 5th row.
That's what I'm saying. And these guys where was Billy Richmond? We need the fighter. Come on.
Hey, we need Mr. 901 to come up and show him why he's got the 901 in him because I'll take Billy over that dude any day of the week.
And then you have Big Z, not me, the other Big Z. Why would you stand over a guy knowing you're going to get technical?
So we talked about this in pre-show a little bit, and if you jumped on my TikTok before the show, you heard what I had to say. I'm going to PG it up a little bit from what I said earlier. Big Z, for all the good he's done, he is not strong enough defensively to stand over someone after blocking a shot. Okay? That requires a little more manhood than what he has shown on defense. Now, offense, when he's on, okay, he can stare at somebody, as he's going back down the floor. But if he turned and stared at Bruce Pearl and the bench, I'd be just as upset at him because that's just a stupid move. Okay, you're not Steph Curry, you're not Michael Jordan. You can't pull that off.
I just don't understand. I mean, the thing that bugs me is just play the game. Just play the game. There's no need to stand over a guy because the ref is standing right there.
You know what the ultimate trash talk is in basketball?
Winning the game.
Exactly. When that horn goes off at the end of the game and you got more points than your opponent, there's not an insult in the world they can throw at you that's going to have any merit at that point.
Well, okay, I say winning the game, but ask Devo from a couple of years ago.
No, I'd still take winning the game, even if you didn't have that play. Still winning the game, because anytime somebody wants to come up and yap post game, all you got to do is raise your finger and point in the direction of the scoreboard, because that says it all.
D-Matt, if you're watching, he said, point at the scoreboard. Put your finger down.
It's like pointing at the WrestleMania sign. You point at the scoreboard.
WWE, Ricky McCurry says last night's game was like WWE match.
It was pretty rough last night. It was pretty physical. I felt like there were several possessions that Arkansas got good penetration, driving the lane, and got body bumped and didn't get the call. Sometimes we got the bucket, sometimes we didn't. But I felt like there were at least a handful of possessions in the second half, and it seemed like as it got later in the game, they got a little more obvious. But then on the flip side of that, there were a few times Arkansas got by with a travel once. There was one of Big Z's blocks. I felt like he fouled the guy and it wasn't called. So it evens out in the long run. But the bottom line from last night, when you have number one on the ropes, you got to find a way to close out. You have to close them out, and you have to steal that win.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't. Hey, let me tell you about my friends over at Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood, your fine dining gym in Conway. Seven Oaks offers a unique dining experience, sourcing the best local ingredients from your for their farm-to-table menu. From succulent seafood to perfectly grilled steaks and beyond, there's something for everyone. At Seven Oaks, the atmosphere is ideal for any event, from intimate dinners to business meetings. You will experience quality, flavor, and tradition with each dish. So come to Seven Oaks Steakhouse and Seafood in historic downtown Conway, where quality meets tradition, and indulge in your next culinary adventure with us. 912 Front Street in historic downtown Conway. All right, we're going to step away for a break. When we come back, Arkansas, Missouri, Saturday night, with a little bit of extra coming in.
Mhm.
You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen, back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg fanatics. We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
It's time to step back inside the Hog Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
Hi, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. On the sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Lord have mercy. This cold weather, man, has completely messed me up. Let's try that one again. Welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen.
We'll fix it.
Razorback
Don't
Zach,
worry about it.
right? Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton. Yes, you can cut that and put it in the blooper reel.
Yeah.
All right. So before the break, we were talking about Auburn and Texas A&M. And now we're going to look forward a little bit with Missouri coming into Bud Walton Arena Saturday night, where they're also honoring the 1990 Final Four team. And if you didn't see it at the beginning of the show, MC, go ahead and fire that clip up.
So I'll play this again. If you're just now joining us, earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down and interview a member of the 1990 Final Four team, Ernie Murray. The Pride of Wabaseka is what I remember him being known as. And he was a member there of the team. And he had a lot of good things to say about the program and that 1990 team. And if I can find my clip here, I'm going to pull up just a little. It's about a 1-minute clip of mine and Ernie's conversation.
But when Coach Cal got here and we got with Kevin Trainer and Daryl Hawg, my teammate, has been really instrumental and putting this together and helping us get this pull off. We have a dinner on Friday. We have a dinner there set for us on Friday in Fayetteville, and then the game on Saturday. So I'm just excited. I go back some, but I don't go as much. But I'm so excited. I'm going home Saturday to be honored, and where honor really is due. It's overdue. So I'm so happy that Hunter Urachek and his staff have seen fit to do this for us. And we want to, 1990 team, we want to thank the University of Arkansas, the administration, the athletic department, the coaching staff. We thank everybody for allowing us to come back and be honored.
And there you have it, Ernie Murray. That podcast will drop tomorrow at noon, about an hour after the conclusion of Inside the Hog Pen radio show on 101.1 FM The Answer. The podcast will drop on all podcast channels. So wherever you're listening to your favorite podcast, make sure you're subscribed to Inside the Hog Pen, and you will get to listen to MC's interview with Ernie Murray.
Yeah, and so they're going to do that at halftime of the game on Saturday, the game against Missouri. Look, if you've got tickets, get there. If you don't, find a way to get your tickets to somebody who's going to go, because this team, this 1990 Final Four team, I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a second, Z. This 1990 team is one of the main reasons that Bud Walton Arena exists, okay? And Ernie talks about this a little bit in the podcast, and without giving too much away, if it wasn't for this 1990 team, there would not be a Bud Walton Arena. There would not be the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and most likely there probably wouldn't be a 1994 national championship team, because this 1990 team, this was Nolan's first Final Four team. They set the tone, and this is the team that really made people look at Arkansas and Nolan Richardson and be like, man, them guys are good. And it helped with recruiting. It helped with, setting the national stage for Arkansas to become one of the powerhouse programs of the 90s. And if you're not old enough to remember it, go get on Google or Wikipedia and look at how many games they won between 1990 and 1996. Nobody in college basketball won more games than the University of Arkansas. They were the winningest program of the 90s for the first half of that decade.
Here's the thing. Most people don't like to admit it. We are a blue blood in college basketball.
In college basketball, yeah.
If
you're going all time, you got a national championship, 6 Final Fours, 2 national championship game appearances, countless All-Americans. It's there, okay? It's there. And this team deserves to see a full Bud Walton Arena, all up on their feet, making noise as the way we know Bud Walton Arena can. And I got to tell you, Zach, if I am a current player and I'm seeing these old heads come in like this of the team that has a banner that says 1990 Final Four, I got a little extra juice for Saturday, man. I want to go out and put on a show for these dudes.
You've also got to think of it this way, MC. Of course, again, you're an old head.
Yep.
I'm not too far behind you. There's a phrase I never thought I'd say. But if you really honestly think about it, outside of, the Eddie Sutton years,
yeah,
this was actually the launching point.
Absolutely.
This team was the launching point for where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
no doubt about it. There's no doubt.
This team, like he said, 94 never happens. 95 runner-up never happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's so many things that have happened because of that 1990 team.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into MC's got some thoughts.
I have some thoughts on this whole thing. I'm glad that the celebration is happening, but my question is, why did it take 35 years? Why is it taking 35 years to bring this team back? This team that was you could call them the first domino in the success of Nolan and Razorback basketball in the 90s. This was the first domino that had to fall. Why has it taken 35 years over multiple administrations in the athletic department to make this happen? So that's my question, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit as we close out the show tonight. But to put a bow on the end of class here for MC School of Hog Hoops, Arkansas has yet another prime opportunity Saturday night to get a quad one win over a very good Missouri team that is going to be coming in riding high. Are they riding too high? I don't know. But, this sets up good for Arkansas, because Arkansas is coming off of a really hard-fought, tough loss. You've got to come back and bounce back off of it. You're catching Alabama as they're riding high off of a big home victory. Why not go out and put on a show for guys like Ernie Murray and Todd Day and Daryl Hawkins, who was so instrumental on working with Coach Cal? We got to give Coach Cal some credit here too, because Coach Cal was a big part of this celebration happening. Say what you want about Cal, the man knows his history when it comes to college basketball and the Razorback program, and how important Nolan Richardson was, not just to the Razorback program, but to college basketball as a whole. So hopefully the team can go out there in front of a packed, rowdy, crazy Bud Walton Arena, Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and put on a show for these dudes and show them, hey, man, we respect everything you guys did to get us this grand facility to play in. And with that, I'll say class dismissed.
Very good. Very nice. So now we move on, and the Diamond Hogs have kicked off their season. Now, before we get started,
PSA time.
for, for those of you that decided to hit the freaking panic button after game 1, need to chill out.
It's baseball.
Your game, remember what happened last year in game 1, okay? Hagen Smith got rocked. But what did he do the very next week? When we Arlington,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the season, postseason notwithstanding.
That's a different story.
There's a disclaimer there. Again, guys, game 1, you're in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
20-degree weather. Okay. They ruled Washington State the next 3 games.
Yep.
Okay. Baseball is different.
Baseball is very different.
They don't look at single game, they look at series. And you ruled Washington State for 3 straight games.
Yeah.
Okay. Relax. Only week 2.
We will learn more about this team this weekend because the competition steps up a couple notches. Kansas is a step up in competition. Michigan. No, I'm not going to go there. Michigan is really good. Michigan upset Virginia in the opening weekend. Virginia was a top 5 team. Michigan upset them in the opening weekend. Michigan's got some bats.
There was a lot of upsets.
A lot of upsets
weekend.
And then we've got, game 3 on Sunday. You got it. I mean, you've basically got games against the 2 programs that were very instrumental in your last 2 postseasons not living up to expectations.
Yeah. And one of those, and I'll say it because I know he's listening right now, is TCU.
Tinfoil conspiracy U.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you got. I mean,
hold on. If I gotta, hold. All right, D-Man.
Is D-Matt in the house?
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything to say about TCU besides they're a bunch of cheating sign stealers, where they probably went the Houston Texans or Houston Astros route and have some type of buzzer on them, because there is no way. Sorry for all the racket in the background, but there is no way that our pitching staff had a collective ERA last year of what, 2 point something?
Yeah.
And then one team in the NCAA goes for 34 runs on us.
Yeah.
Over 3 games. No.
Yeah, there was. You have won me over with the tinfoil conspiracy U theory, because if you know me outside of sports, I'm a big conspiracy guy anyway. I love them. I'm entertained by them. But this is too much to accept. We were, if they were not stealing signs, then we were tipping our pitches somehow, because nobody in the SEC had hit off us the way TCU destroyed pitching in that regional.
Not even Tennessee.
Exactly. Not even Tennessee. But
better,
it's pretty wild that, it's like you mentioned TCU, and that's the bat signal for DMAD.
Yeah, right.
Listen.
You say TCU in the first game.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in DMAD.
It's gotten to the point where if somebody even says T and C in the same sentence, Zach starts covering his ears. He's going, here we go.
I'm like, oh my God,
guess what? And then guess what? Then it's DMAD in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right, D-Mad, we'll let you get back to it, buddy. We'll see you here in a little while.
Bye, buddy.
Oh, man. He's like a bad penny sometimes.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
He pops up out of nowhere.
That's awesome. It's like Joe Hendry and the Candyman all in one,
Right? But you've got – so here's the schedule for this weekend as Arkansas goes down to Arlington for the AMG Way College Baseball Series.
Very, very well done. Presented by Kubota.
Presented by I forgot about that. Presented by Kubota. You've got Kansas State tomorrow at 7.
Yep.
TCU Saturday at 6, and then Michigan Sunday at 11. Here's the thing. It is not on TV. This is Flow Sports only. And everybody knows we hate Flow Sports.
This is your reminder. If you sign up for Flow Sports, don't forget to cancel and don't get stuck with the annual
you're gonna
membership.
Wish you but here's the thing. I'm really impressed with this pitching staff.
Yeah, they looked really good so far, and it's really deep. At this point, you got to keep everybody healthy because we've had previous seasons where, I remember one season, Coach Van Horn even come in before the season and said, "This is the deepest pitching staff I've ever coached." And at that moment, I went, "Oh," because knowing Arkansas, somebody was going to get hurt, and about 3 guys ended up going down for the year. So,
but
I'm very hesitant to brag on them right now.
Well, but at the same time, if you guys listen to my interview with Kevin Bohannon last week,
yep,
he even said that we're the same thing every year: deepest pitching staff, best pitching staff. I'm gonna tell you something. Carson Wiggins, 4 pitches at 100 miles plus. Yeah. Holy crap!
Well, and Gabe Gackle looked just like he did last year. I mean, he picked up right where he left off. Gage Wood. The one that I really wanted to see, Zach Root, the transfer from ECU, came in and did exactly what I expected him to do. I think that guy could be an X factor this year coming in as the transfer because not a lot of guys in the SEC have seen him. Now they've seen Gackle, they've seen Gage Wood. They've got some film to study on those guys, but they don't have quite as much film to study because I think Zach Root at ECU is going to be different than Zach Root at Arkansas because of the Matt Hobbs factor. You have to throw some love to Matt Hobbs with all these aces that Arkansas has brought in. So it's going to be fun.
You know who I'm not going to throw love to? Nate Carpenter. Teach these boys how to swing a bat.
Well, and so we've got some newbies that have come in and are hitting the ball pretty well. The Australian Brent Erdale.
He's come on, ain't he?
He's hit some moonshots to start the season.
Him and little brother Aloy.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to do his first name. We'll
Nate
just call him.
Who did I say? I said something, but
I heard Nate, so I left it there.
It's Nate Thompson, not Nate whoever. Well, I said. I'm so flustered with that dude right now.
Well, and I want to see this team face a little adversity this weekend down at Arlington and see how they respond. 3-0 is possible. I think 2-1 is more likely. But
we drop to?
Huh?
Who do you think we drop our game to?
Michigan.
Really? I've got them. Mm-hmm. I've got Kansas State.
I think I think Michigan surprises us. And it's not that we do anything wrong. I think Michigan's really good. If they stay healthy, I think you could see them being a major factor in the postseason. But I'm not going to predict 3-0. I'm gonna stick with my 2-1. And look, I like going down here. I like going to play at Arlington. I think this is going to continue to happen. I was listening to the broadcast the other day, and Phil and Bubba were talking about that next season. I believe the first games of the season are going to be in Arlington rather than starting at Baum. So Dave really likes this trip. He likes going to Arlington. And I kind of like it because now that football's done playing at Jerry World, you can just go right across the street there to Globe Life and you get some Razorback baseball going. And we always have a good contingent of fans down there. I put a comment up earlier from Sarah. She said that she's leaving out in the morning and headed to Arlington. So I'm sure there'll be, a few thousand fans that make the trek down.
Right. All right. We're going to take one last break and then we're going to wrap it up here on Inside the Hog Pen. Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Meeks Design.
Hey, Hawg fanatics. We at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not-so-good deal. As a special offer, Hawg fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Meeks Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Final segment here on this Thursday night. A very cold Thursday night.
Very cold. Yes.
Hope everybody's staying warm. I know this morning, I don't know about up there in NEA MC, but down here in Central Arkansas, the temperature this morning was a toasty -8 degrees.
Yeah, we weren't that cold. We were positive numbers, but we were single digits when I got up. I think it was about 7 degrees when I got up this morning.
Well, I guess that's the feels like temperature.
Well, to me, okay, whatever it feels like is what I call the temperature. So
Right.
I'm not. I have buddies that do weather, and I'm like, okay, well, if it feels like it's 6, then it's 6.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm,
You know.
But so we've talked about it for weeks.
Mhm.
That there is a major disconnect between the administration of the athletic department and the fan base, from NIL to why it's taken 35 years to honor the 1990 Final Four team. Because here's the thing, and again, I'm a Razorback fan through and through. All right, I bleed Razorback red, but we live on nostalgia. Unfortunately, we do. We live on nostalgia. It's only because we haven't won anything and won enough recently, because there's only so much you can do with track and field national titles.
Right.
Not taking anything away from them. But there's only so much you can do about it. You honor the 94 team all the time. But there was a 95 runner-up team, which was probably the same team as the 94, but still. And then you have the 1990 team. Why, like MC said, why has it taken 35 years?
Yeah, I was
the launching point, basically.
I don't understand it. And I'm not going to put the entirety of the blame on this administration, because there's been multiple athletic administrations go through over the last 35 years. But this administration is the one that's finally making it happen. So I do give them some credit there. But as a whole, I mean, this, we've talked about this on other episodes. Zach touched on it with the NIL, and then, the timing of when they released the reseating or the reticketing or whatever you want to call it of Bud Walton Arena, and then on top of that,
let's not forget the football schedule in the middle of portal season. Right.
And then, so now you have yet another example of a disconnect of it taking 35 years. I mean, the guys that were on this team, Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, Big O, Oliver Miller, Ernie Murray, Daryl Hawkins, Ron Hury, Lindsey Howell, God rest their souls. They've gone on. These guys, they set the table. these guys are the ones that laid the concrete. They put the walls up. They built the house. Okay. And then 94 team came in and put the finishing touches on the house and made it a complete palace. But without this team, the concrete's not laid. The walls are not up. You don't have that foundation to build off of. And these guys, I mean, you're talking about multiple All-Americans on this team. Okay. Day and Mayberry were both parade All-Americans as high school recruits, and then also All-Americans as Razorbacks. Why have we not done this before now? And why, because I know there are fans that like me that remember this team. You'll see it Saturday. When you see how crazy this fan base goes when some of these names are called out. And unfortunately, a couple of these guys are not going to be there. But you listen to the ovations of Ernie Murray, of Todd Day, of Daryl Hawkins. Lee Mayberry and Big O are not going to be able to make it, according to what Ernie told me. But these guys, and then you listen to the ovation when they go through the coaching staff and they get to Nolan. Okay? I don't understand why it has taken 35 years for this team to get their just due. And like Ernie, I'm glad they're finally getting it. But at the same time, maybe there needs to be maybe someone in the administration kind of needs to step back and ask this same question if they haven't already. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying that the question needs to be asked. Why did it take 35 years?
Well,
and where is the communication breakdown?
Well, I mean, to an average fan, I say average fan. Well, none of us, anybody in Razorback Nation is not an average fan.
Anybody that's watching this show is not an average fan.
No. My biggest question is, first off, MC, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd Day, still all-time leading scorer in Razorback.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Nobody's going to break his record because nobody plays 4 years anymore.
Okay. If I'm a fan and I want answers, the one question I want answered is, why now?
Yeah.
Why now? You've never done it before. Why now?
And again, I'm not trying to come across as being ungrateful because I'm glad that it's finally happening.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a little embarrassed to the fact that I didn't realize it had not happened before now until I sat down with Ernie for our conversation. And I'm sure I didn't hold my poker face well when he's like, "No, man, we've never had one of these." My jaw kind of dropped, and I don't understand.
That's why,
how or why this is happening. And like I said earlier in the show, man, we got to give kudos to Coach Calipari because he and Daryl Hawkins, who's a member of this team, were the two key pieces that put this thing together to get the ball rolling on it. And then they brought it to the administration. Administration said, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." Well, and here we stand.
But at the same time, I mean, and this is why I said, we honor the 94 team literally all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have
and
that.
Rightfully so. I mean, they did win the title, so rightfully so.
Should. And especially this year. Was it this year or last year? The 30th anniversary is last year for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Totally understand that. But without this night, and then we said it earlier in the show, without this 1990 team, you do not have a national title at Arkansas in 1994.
Right. Firmly believe that.
Sorry. Just doesn't happen.
And y'all know me. Y'all know I love that 94 team. I mean, you can see, I got an autographed Corliss jersey back here. Corliss, Big Nasty's my dude. I got the posters right here.
For the record, I tried to take off with that Corliss jersey.
But I will say this. The 1990 team is most likely the most talented team Arkansas has ever had from top to bottom. Because if you look through that roster and you look at the guys that went on to have pro careers and you look at the guys that played in college and did what they did in the era they were in, the early 1990s is the golden era of college basketball. Nobody will ever convince me otherwise.
Oh, no.
And these guys went through and dominated during that time. They weren't able to bring the trophy home. It doesn't knock what they accomplished. These dudes were on it, and they were among the elite in a time when college basketball was at its peak. So thankfully it's happening. I'm glad it's happening. I wish it hadn't taken so long, But everybody that can make it to the game, I want you to go there. I want you to yell for me because I can't leave the NEA this weekend. I got too much going on and I can't get up there. So yell for me when they introduce this team and honor them at halftime.
So in other words, what we're telling you is be louder.
There you go. There you go. I can't think of a better way to end the show, Zach.
There you go. All right. That's going to do it for us on this Thursday night. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 101.1 FM, The Answer, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I'll give my thoughts on the Auburn game, on the A&M game, looking ahead at Missouri. And, of course, baseball series down in Arlington. All that and more. Plus, the phone lines are going to be open. Write this number down, 501-823-0965. I want to get your thoughts on everything Razorback related. 501-823-0965 is the phone number. And then at noon, go to the podcast channel and listen to the MC's interview with Ernie Murray. You never know. You might learn something. I know I'm looking forward to it. But for Marcus MC Carlton, Dylan Madden, I'm Razorback Zach. Thank you, everybody, for listening. For those of you watching, thank you for joining us tonight. And I will see you all tomorrow morning on 101.1 FM. The Answer. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.